My name is Shane Stewart.
Hi, my name is Shirley Troilo, and welcome to our discussion on CRM, Customer Relationship Management, and Chapter 12.
The agenda for today's discussion is to discuss the what not, and why of CRM, the process and process areas contained within CRM, the types of CRM and the CRM lifecycle, the CRM application examples and video, the software technology, Salesforce.com, Oracle CRM On Demand, and SAP CRM, CRM with ERP, the Emerson experience with CRM, and CRM challenges.
So today we're going to look at some key questions to answer. First and foremost is, what is customer relationship management? And then, why is customer relationship management important? And then, what are the major components of customer relationship management, also known as CRM? How does CRM interact with an ERP system? And which is better, CRM on-premise or software as a service? And then why? Why is there a difference? So what is CRM? The basic definition, it is a company strategy of managing customers through technology and processes to achieve your company's goals. It supports the front-end customer-facing functions.
Another way to look at it is managing a company's relationships with its customers that includes attracting the customer, analyzing the customer, and servicing the customer.
So why CRM? In the world of business, the general rule is the customer is king. As competitive technology increases, so is the fight for the customer's dollar amongst competitors. There was a study that Oracle showed that there was a 20% loss in revenue for companies that have poor customer service relationships. So that, in fact, is showing why it is so significant and important to service your customers with this tool.
What CRM does not do. CRM does not manage your operational processes. These processes include production planning, MRP, financial accounting, and supply chain management. Basically, the things that we have learned so far in class surrounding your ERP system.
The when, the evolution of CRM. So we're going to talk a little bit about the history of how CRM came to be, that it started off as a simple Rolodex to now software as a service, more commonly known as SaaS.
So CRM, in its basic form, started off as simply using a Rolodex or an address book to manage your contact data. In the 1980s, contact management software and data marketing tools started to be developed. The leader at that time was a software called ACT. In the 1990s, it brought in what's called Salesforce automation. It combined the contact management software and database marketing tools together to form a more comprehensive view of your customer. Siebel was the first big name player in Salesforce automation at that time. It was also referred to as enterprise customer management and customer information systems. In 1995, the process got renamed Customer Relationship Management. Gartner, who's an IT research firm, was credited with giving them the new name of Customer Relationship Management, or CRM. By the end of the 90s, big players such as Oracle, Bond, SAP, and Salesforce.com also joined the CRM world. At that time, the marketing, sales, and services pieces were added to the Customer Relationship Management picture. In the 2000s, they started to integrate with ERP. Software as a service applications began to take off, such as Salesforce.com. And now we're looking into social CRM, which includes Facebook, Twitter, and other social media platforms to gain more information about your customers and help you market to them.
So a CRM process. A good CRM process should include the following: It should capture and maintain customers' needs, motivations, and behaviors. It should facilitate customer experiences for continuous improvements. It should also integrate your marketing, sales, and customer support activities.
CRM process areas. There are 3 key areas to the CRM process: the delivery process, the support process, and the analysis process.
So CRM delivery areas. We're going to focus on the contact with the customer, particularly campaign management. The key goal of campaign management is to generate leads or potential clients for an organization. In your sales management, you're going to want to convert the lead by campaign management into a potential customer. In the area of service management, the goal is to provide ongoing support for the client and to assist in the operation of the product or service purchased by the customer. And this is done through help desk support or a contract for billing support. Then complaint management is the sale of product or service often creates dissatisfaction with customers. So it needs to be managed and monitored effectively. And the goal here is to improve your customer satisfaction by directly addressing the complaints of the customer and supporting continuous improvement to increase the customer retention in the long run. And next we're going to see Shane draw on the whiteboard to show us a more pictorial way of this being displayed.
Now I'm going to illustrate on the board how these CRM delivery areas work together to provide a comprehensive process through your CRM system. Right? At the top here, you have the concept of your campaigns. Right? Campaigns being marketing ideas on how to sell the products to the customers and who the customers they are that they want to sell to. All right? From a campaign, you then generate a series of leads. All right? These leads can come from external marketing lists. They can come from trade show lists, people who stop by your booth who are interested in a specific product that you had at that trade show. They can come through from your own analytics, from your past sales, from comparing old customers to potential new customers who have similar size or industry. All right? The leads are a set of contacts that work for the companies that you identify from your campaign management activities. All right? Leads then turn into opportunities. All right? So as you call or contact or visit the leads that you've created from your campaign, some of those folks will not be interested in your product, others will. Those people who are interested in it are your opportunities. You'll work these opportunities from their infancy of first contact, hopefully through to closing the sale. Right? Which brings us to our next point, which is the sale. The customer submits a PO because they want their product. All right? And now at this point, if your CRM is integrated with your ERP, it will go to the ERP for the transactional processing, the shipping, the procurement, and such. All right. From your sale, you now have your service offerings. All right. This could be, as I said before, it could be going out to actually install the product, tracking your activities involved with that. It could be maintenance of the product, or whatever else other items that you have contracted with that company. From the service and the sales, you now come to the complaint area. All right. So if a customer has a problem with their product, it doesn't work like they want to, it's broken, etc., they will contact your customer service support department, and they will log complaints in your CRM system. So now it allows you to have an overall picture of not only the sales activity, but the issues that the customers had with your product. That's a very important thing for salespeople to know and see when they're going to a customer to try and sell more product. if they get blindsided by a customer who has a lot of complaints, and you go to sell them more products but you have not resolved their complaints, it turns into a very angry situation, and it can cost the salesperson their lead or their opportunity. All right. The last piece of this is your analytics. All right. You take all the data from all the activities done in your CRM so far, you put them in a big bucket, and then you start analyzing that data to see if you can see any kind of trends in your products, trends for your customers, trends in the complaints, see what your complaints are, what types of things are, so you might be able to improve your product if you can identify a common complaint. All right, and then finally, you close the loop back to campaigns, as you've now had the opportunity to use your analytics to identify customers that have bought certain products from you, and how to find customers of similar size and industry to sell those and market those products to, and you can create a whole new set of campaigns based on that data. Another CRM support area is loyalty management. We've all heard the saying that it's more costly to generate new customers than maintain the one you have. And in fact, the research shows that it's actually 6 times more costly to generate new customers than service the ones that you currently have. Loyalty management will allow you to offer incentives to keep your customers happy and keep them coming back.
CRM analysis areas focus on analyzing the data you have gathered. In lead management, you're going to analyze where you are in the sales process, what success rates you have and why, and what your failure rates are and why. And for customer profiling, you're going to look to find your customers that you've made sales to help you find similar customers in your next campaign. For feedback, you're going to look at your complaints and identify the customer dissatisfaction. You'll also want to look at your social media to judge customer sentiment.
There are 6 main types of CRM systems: operational, Salesforce automation, analytical, collaborative, campaign management, and sales intelligence. Operational CRM systems bring together account information, contact information, purchase history, pre-sales history, and complaint history into one view. Salesforce automation keeps track of every step in the sales process. It can even store scripts to assist users in talking with customers during that sales process. Analytical CRM looks at customer data to help establish sales marketing strategy. Collaborative CRM integrates data with customers and vendors to allow them a view into who your leads are and what you're trying to sell and what you can sell. Campaign management tracks the campaigns and helps target specific customers for specific products. And finally, sales intelligence allows a company to identify sales trends to help with future strategic decisions.
Examples of CRM uses. Some companies use real-time customer interactions to further their revenue potential and ultimately their shareholder profits. Some of these examples could be rewards for frequent customers. Some high-tech companies will push discounts to your phone when you enter the store. There are also online advertisements for places that you've recently searched online. You know, those nagging pictures that show up on every browser as you're trying to read the news. Real-time feedback for waiting in lines at amusement park. This was in the Disney case study at the beginning of this chapter if you would like some additional information as to how they did that. So now we're going to take a look at a short video to show how some businesses are using CRM.
As a small business owner, you want to win new customers and keep them as long as possible. So how do you turn individual sales into long-term relationships? There are so many opportunities and interactions with each customer, and keeping track of it all can be quite challenging. but there is a great tool to manage your customer communications and customize your marketing efforts to keep customers coming back. It's called Customer Relationship Management, or CRM. Let's see how some companies are making CRM work for them. Johnson Dental is a small practice with about 100 patients. Every Halloween, business spiked, but the rest of the year, things were flat. So when the office manager, Melanie, noticed that they were gaining new patients at a slow rate and repeat appointments were at a minimum, she knew something had to change. Her first solution was to enhance existing patient relationships. After all, existing customers are easier and less expensive to maintain than finding new ones. To Melanie's surprise, this was simpler than she thought. She found she could leverage many of the computer tools she was already using. She just had to change how she used them. For instance, Mel already used Excel spreadsheet and Outlook email and calendar software. These helped her maintain multiple databases on all patients, like contact information, scheduling, payments tracking. But she had no experience doing things like tracking patient trends or integrating patient information in other functions. But it was easy. All she had to do was reuse information she was already collecting. The first thing was combining email addresses with calendar entries. That opened the door to sending email reminders to patients who had missed annual appointments and offer their best patients a free teeth whitening on their birthday. She was embarking on the most basic do-it-yourself CRM, but it worked. Before long, she noticed a spike in patient bookings. On the other side of town, Smith Legal Partners maintains a large clientele. They committed to being the best personal injury litigators in a tri-state area, but growth had peaked out and they wanted more income. Their client management process was more complex, so the founder, Mr. Smith, hired an online CRM services provider. They started by evaluating where things stood in categories like number of clients, volume of billings, man-hours spent, and marketing costs. Smith identified goals in terms of what legal department needed to improve and turned the service provider loose to create a direct mail campaign and social networking designed to build awareness for personal injury. Through the CRM program, their mailers contained automated messages customized to prospects and clients, addressing things like recipients' chronic medical conditions or prior arrests. In no time at all, the phone started ringing off the hook, and his lawyers were busier than ever. Meanwhile, the financial planners at Fix Financial Group were having a tough time acquiring and keeping clients due to the poor economy. The president, Mr. Jones, decided that he needed a new way to reach out. He had his IT staff install a software system on internal servers that would contact new and existing clients in dozens of ways. Through this advanced CRM system, Fix was able to link different databases and applications they were using in bookkeeping, records, and communications. Soon, they were uncovering opportunities and tracking leads, referrals, interaction, and responses. Jones reassigned some of his clerical staff to do nothing but contact current clients with new services and send prospects information on new investment opportunities. The system even managed contacts and workflow. By being in charge of its own in-house CRM solution, Fix was sure to have the scalability to grow and the flexibility to incorporate things like mobile access so that they could have fully informed conversations with customers and prospects on the road. This helped business greatly, and portfolio values soared. But how could all three companies put a value on their CRM and all other marketing efforts to improve business? It's a critical step to measure and monitor the results each marketing campaign generates. All three companies decided to measure the performance of their marketing, each in a different way. Johnson Dental's manual do-it-yourself CRM was small enough that they could gauge effectiveness in their bookings. That told them how they were handling existing patients through their email efforts. Mel had also sent mailers with business reply cards, or BRCs, to potential patients, making it easy for prospects to respond to certain offers. The reply cards contained different coupon codes per promotion, which helped to identify the offer they were responding to. This not only helped build the volume of initial exams, but it helped to know what dental services people are trending to, like teeth whitening. To get a little more technical, Smith Law, who is using online providers for CRM, decided to use automated services to measure performance of some of their web-based marketing campaigns. Using online tools like Omniture and Google Analytics, Smith was able to measure which marketing effort worked best by analyzing pages from their website. Metrics showed things like the number of online visitors they were drawing, the path each one took through the website, and which pages were viewed. He could even see in search engine rankings how well their efforts were paying off. Smith also created special web pages with their own URL for responses to individual promotions like free divorce seminars and prenuptial negotiation. In no time, seminars were so popular they had to add extra sessions, and new clients were walking in the door, although usually at different times. Fix Financial, with their in-house process, created the most elaborate tracking system of all. They used their IT department to write their own system that tracked metrics including prospect inquiries, new customers, account setups, online registrations, and account history. Since a lot of the customers were coming from all over the state, Fix implemented a different toll-free 800 number for each promotion. After about a week, they found they should be setting up a branch office in the next town for tax consulting. Being able to interpret how each marketing effort was paying off for these three companies helped bring down the cost of doing business. It led to a better understanding of the cost per new prospect converted or transaction completed of each campaign. They knew the value of referrals and could actually put a price on overall customer satisfaction. Over time, each company was able to improve planning, cut costs, and streamline day-to-day operations, simply by knowing more about how their efforts at reaching the customers were working.
For more detailed resources, like brochures and white papers, go to CenturyLink.com/SMB-resources.
In the video, different ways of implementing CRM systems were mentioned. There's a simple homegrown solution, which takes different applications, such as Excel and Outlook, and marries them together to produce a simple homegrown solution. There's the commercial off-the-shelf, where you go to an external vendor and purchase what they have created, such as SAP, CRM, and Salesforce.com. And then there's complex custom development, where your in-house IT staff will create their own version of an off-the-shelf CRM system.
Next, we're going to look at some examples of CRM commercial off-the-shelf technologies. The three we're going to look at are Oracle CRM, which offers a solution on-premise and on-demand. And then we're going to look at the SaaS offering of Salesforce.com. And then we'll look at SAP CRM, which offers an on-premise and on-demand offering. Oracle CRM. This can be integrated with their Oracle ERP offering, Oracle eBusiness Suite. It's also multi-platforms offered and growing fast in the cloud and social areas to bridge the technology together. They're real good at following the money for their technological developments. They're trying to determine where next to spend their money on their investments for what's going to be most advantageous for their customers.
Salesforce.com is the market leader in the software as a service space. The big advantage of their offering is that customizations are easier to make using their App World Exchange area, which allows you to create your own custom applications to talk with the Salesforce.com CRM system and with other systems. The downside to Salesforce.com is it's not naturally integrated with any ERP system, so finding a link between that system and your ERP may be difficult.
And lastly, we'll look at SAP CRM. This CRM system is integrated with the SAP ERP system, which means that the data and transactions replicate between the two systems natively with minimum setup and customizations. The system delivery options are cloud and on-premise.
So how does CRM interact with your ERP system? There are two main ways. There's using the use of middleware and the use of web services, although sometimes web services can be used in conjunction with your middleware. The middleware is a software that connects the components of an enterprise application. For instance, ERP to CRM, ERP to advanced planning and optimization systems, or even ERP to your data warehouse. The web services is accomplished often in conjunction with an app that might be developed by one of your CRM providers or your other application providers. Often used in this area is Simple Object Access Protocol, also known as SOAP, Extensive Markup Language, also known as XML, and Universal Discovery Description and Integration.
So next we're going to look at CRM challenges, specifically process, technology, and people. For process, technology alone cannot solve all your CRM needs. Processes must be in place to support the technology chosen. Just because you select a CRM solution, it doesn't solve all of your people processes within the business. In technology, we're going to look at the portability of client data and what happens when that no longer exists. So for instance, if you're with a specific CRM cloud solution or a SaaS solution, they may or may not have the ability to port your data if you choose to go a new direction and go with a new vendor. This issue is typically for smaller providers and not so much with the larger providers. Another item under technology is the integration with your ERP systems. For instance, if you're using a SaaS offering, they may or may not be able to integrate with your current ERP systems. It's much better for, say, with a integrated solution such as SAP CRM. And the people. People are key to the entire process. And if they buy in, they will be champions of the process to bring the best use of technology to meet the company goals.
Some of the advantages of CRM to the business are that it's a major component of the 360-degree view of the customer concept, and it helps you understand the cost of obtaining new customers through the following areas of marketing, sales, and customer service.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about the Emerson experience with CRM. E&P has implemented solutions from 4 different providers: Lotus Notes, SAP CRM, Salesforce.com, and Oracle CRM OD. So Shane has been with Emerson for 14 years plus, and you've had a chance to work with all of these, and you're going to kind of give us an insight into what these tools have brought and what Emerson's done with them.
Right. So the system we had when I first started was a system built on the Lotus Notes platform. It was an on-premise solution, and it was actually homegrown. It was actually simple and easy to use, which is a big plus, but it didn't interface with any other system. All right. Another big advantage of that one was we actually had sales and tech support on the same system, so where all our sales opportunities were, all of our tech support complaints were, and when anyone had to go into a specific customer, they had a view of most of the transactions that we had with that customer at that time. We didn't have their actual sales, but we did have their opportunities and what we closed. So we had a kind of a good interaction, or a good set of information on how we've been interacting with them in the past.
Okay.
Just after we launched our SAP ERP program, we launched SAP CRM. It was an on-premise solution, right? Obviously based on the SAP platform. Big plus of this one was that tech support were able to enter their complaints, right? They were able to initiate RMAs, or return material authorizations, to have customers send items back either for to be fixed or to just be returned. And that information would flow from the CRM system or to our transactional system, where we could do the receipt of the good, we could do the repair of the good, and keep track of it that way. At this point is where we actually split tech support from sales, and sales no longer had the visibility into the complaint side of the business, because none of the salespeople were on SAP CRM at the time. Right around this, maybe a year later, when we were actually trying to implement SAP for sales, we shifted away from the SAP CRM for the sales side of it. We kept tech support in SAP, but we moved to Salesforce.com, which we have mentioned in prior slides. That is the market leader in the software as a solution technologies. The plus side for Salesforce.com was it was an easy setup. All right, it had a good user experience based on the GUI that the customer saw when they actually went in to do their transactions. The big downside for that was it did not interface to any other system. So it wasn't interfacing with SAP CRM, it was not interfacing with SAP ERP. So while we were managing our leads and opportunities efficiently out of Salesforce.com, we didn't have a complete view of what we were doing with the customer. 3 years ago, we actually shifted tech support off of SAP CRM because frankly they weren't happy with SAP CRM from the beginning, onto the Oracle platform, CRM On Demand, which is Oracle's version of a software as a service CRM solution. We implemented it 3 years ago just for absent tech support. Again, sales did not come along with tech support at that time, so there's still not a combined view for both sales and for tech support. Like Salesforce.com, it was easy to set up. The interface was actually quite similar to Salesforce.com, right? So it had a good user interface with the customers. And the fact that it still doesn't interface with any other systems is kind of a functionality loss we lost from SAP CRM, because they can no longer do their complaints and their returns and have it immediately transfer over to SAP or the new Oracle system that we have implemented.
So why did we do that? So we were together, we're apart. It seems like we've kind of mashed up our abilities, and now we're changing again. So what was the reason we went to Oracle CRM? Was there a reason why they decided to split us off?
Right. So right from the outset of the SAP implementation, if you take into consideration the change management that we've been talking about that needs to happen when you implement these types of systems, be it ERP or CRM, the change management wasn't handled that effectively. The users did not like SAP. There's a lot of fields, a lot of screens to have to go to process a customer in a transaction. So even though it holds a lot of data, which is good for a company standpoint, it's not most user friendly in its prior form that we had set up. So they've been actually trying to get off of SAP pretty much from the outset and onto back either to Lotus Notes or on the Salesforce.com platform. When it was finally agreed to by IT and the business to move to a different platform, we were already in the stages of going to Oracle ERP. So Oracle being our preferred vendor, we decided to go with the Oracle CRM solution to match it, even though it doesn't natively, the CRM On Demand doesn't natively interface with Oracle. We're at least all on the same Oracle platform, so you have similar fields and that sort of thing, so we could do a custom integration should we decide to.
Okay, good deal. Thanks, Shane, for that informative insight into how Emerson has experienced CRM.
To recap what we've gone over today, we looked at the what not, and why of CRM, the process and process areas, the types of CRM and its life cycle, CRM applications as well as video, the software technologies, Salesforce.com, Oracle CRM On Demand, and SAP CRM. We looked at CRM with ERP. We've gone over the Emerson experience of CRM, and we've looked at some of the CRM challenges.
Okay, so to end, the key questions to answer from this presentation. What is customer relationship management? Why is CRM important? What are the major components for CRM? And how does CRM interact with ERP? And which is better, CRM on-premise or software as a service, and why? So what did you learn about CRM today? That concludes our discussion. We're going to have a following slide that's going to have additional information and links if you want to investigate CRM further. Thank you for joining us.